Particularly anybody getting your ire up these days more than usual?
Nerds.
Yeah,
The nerds that own the politician. All
nerds.
these tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over the world.
So what is going on here? Well, recently I made a video about Bill Burr and him going after Elon Musk. He's been going after Elon Musk a lot. Now, in that video, I made a mistake. I have to make a correction. I said I don't think that Bill Burr is being malicious in that video, and he clearly is being malicious. I don't follow Bill Burr. I haven't followed him ever, really. Years ago, when I had a friend who was like, Bill Burr's the funniest comedian. He's hilarious. You got to watch him. So I started watching him a little bit, and I was like, yeah, he's funny, but he's not the funniest comedian ever. And then I was trying to watch him some more to see if I could find, okay, this buddy of mine thinks he's super funny. What am I missing? So I'll watch some more of his videos and stuff, and I will see if I can see where he's the funniest comedian ever. And about that time, Dr. Phil had a segment on his show where there was a 10-year-old boy who had slapped his mother. And that was kind of like the big shocking thing that is.
We talked about. Let me speak. How does that feel?
And Bill Burr, I watched the video of his. He was saying, if Naya and I, my precious Naya and I, we have children someday, and one of those kids is a boy, and when he's 10 years old, he slaps my precious Naya in the face, I will choke slam him through. I don't know what he was going to choke slam him through because I clicked the video off at that point. I don't need to hear about a grown man choke slamming a child, unless that child is actually a threat or the choke slamming would somehow save the child's life or be a nicer outcome than whatever was going to happen to the child. And it had to be a choke slam. What kind of situation would that be where I have to choke slam this child or else he's going to die? Oh, okay. So yeah, I stopped. I never watched a thing from Bill Burr again until he was on NPR last week. And I listened to that. I didn't hear the whole thing initially because I was driving and I had to get out and get gas, and then got back in, and then I got out and got a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever. And then I got back in. So I missed a lot of it, but then I listened to it in its entirety on the internet and made a video about it. Then I watched him on The Breakfast Club too before I made that video. So that's the first time I've seen Bill Burr really do anything since 2011 or something. So now he goes on The View and he says some more stupid stuff. He's really going after Elon Musk. And I don't know why. I mean, he's got Musk derangement syndrome. I guess they call that MDS. I was saying EDS, but it's Musk derangement syndrome, not Elon derangement syndrome. Let's take a look at this video here and see what he has to say to the ladies on The View.
Both political parties have incurred your wrath over the many years that you've been doing this. Both sides, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So
I don't know where you're going with this.
So you're
but
bipolitical.
so
I'm not into politicians at all. They don't make any money. They're set up to be bribed, and in the end, they're all worth like $50 to $100 million.
You see, he says intelligent stuff like this in one breath, and then in the next breath, he's going to say something stupid. I don't get it.
And everybody thinks one side is better than the other. I don't know. It's a weird time where I just feel like someone needs to bring the boiling water down to a simmer, and everybody on both sides, like if you watch CNN.
So Bill Burr is contributing to the fire that is at a boil right now. He did this SNL skit 5 years ago.
Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay? I don't, but let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, and occasionally when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did.
You see, yeah, saying that white people are the problem, I wonder where he gets that from. I mean, if you know anything about Bill Burr, he's married to a black woman. So, of course, he's going to get that opinion from there. I don't know if that's a real opinion of his or if he's just trying to make a joke. And that's where I kind of get a little bit stuck. It's like, all right, he's making a joke. And this is a stand-up, so he's probably making a joke. But at the same time, there's usually some nugget of truth in a joke. Otherwise, it's not funny. Not always, but usually that's how it works. But to not be true to the history and to blame white people for all the world's problems, I think he believes that.
CNN, Fox, you go online, or you listen to politicians, it's all, and then you walk out on the street and someone's like, hey, how you doing? You're like, good. So I don't think they're living in like a reality.
But is there anybody getting your ire up these days more than usual?
Nerds.
Yeah.
The nerds that own the politician.
Tech
All these tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over the world.
Okay. I'm not a tech nerd. I am a nerd, though. I grew up playing Dungeons & Dragons, reading comic books, playing video games. I mean, you could call me a tech nerd because I do work in what is considered STEM, technology, computer animation is considered technology. So maybe you could consider me a tech nerd, but I don't consider myself a tech nerd. I don't know technology. I don't do coding. I don't do that sort of stuff. I could get into it, and I'm sure I would excel at it if I applied myself, but I have little interest for that. I have never been with a woman who's as unattractive as Bill Burr's wife. Oh, man. That is not... She was born in 78, too. 78. So she's in her mid to late 40s. I don't know what month she was born, but she's 47, maybe 46. And I meet women who are in their late 40s who are more attractive than she is. So you're telling me that 3 that you're married to is hotter than the women that I date. I would never even think about dating Nia Hill, Bill Burr's wife. And Elon Musk, he pulls some of the hottest women in the world.
Anybody,
of course, if you're the richest man in the world, you're going to get the hottest women in the world. That's how it works.
Usual.
Nerds. They are literally going to replace us. The nerds that own the politician, all these tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women. Elon has got the rockets going because they realize there's other Earths out there. Yeah. And they're gonna trash this one, and because they don't have any concern for it, and they're gonna move on to the next Earth.
Are you sure about that? I mean, I thought Elon Musk, one of the reasons he made the electric car was because he wanted to help the environment. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering something there, but I thought that was one of the reasons why he made that electric car. How do you keep from trashing the Earth, Bill Burr? You're a wise man, right? You got the bald head to prove it. You don't know how to save the Earth. There's a lot of the stuff that we are using that is some sort of pollutant. It's going to poison the land, poison the air, whatever. And we don't need to do that. And maybe that is an argument you could have. Maybe we could tech our way out of this somehow. Maybe. Another argument you could make maybe is plant obsolescence. I bought a fan. It stopped working a couple of years ago. I had it for 10 years. My mother has fans that are 50, 60 years old, and they still work fine. So plant obsolescence, cheap manufacturing, cheap goods, that, of course, is another factor that we could look at. But let's see what other gems Bill Burr has to lay on us.
And, everybody's going to be standing down here with your blue and red ties going, wait a minute, I was on your side, and they're just going to leave.
Well, you were talking about death in your set. Do they not realize that they're going to die, these people? They don't realize that eventually everybody dies.
I always wondered that about all religions, where they always talk about a wrathful God and, will send you to hell. And it's like, none of you guys are operating like you fear this, the way you run your religion.
That's right.
So I don't understand any of that. I'm just trying to be, like, chill. Somebody holds the door. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. But
so you're trying not to go to hell?
No, I don't believe in that. I don't think we are God's mistakes. Like, why is he mad at us?
He was trying to bring the temperature down before that part.
Yeah, no, I don't understand. Like, God makes sociopaths, pedophiles, and all of that, and then we all have to deal with it, and then it creates crazy people who do other bad things, and then somehow it's our fault. You have to work it out.
No, but the answer is that the devil creates those.
Yeah,
God doesn't.
Look at you, Joy.
I'm just telling them what they say. The devil made me do it.
But
She's an agnostic.
But God created the devil. That's his responsibility.
Well, that's a good point.
Why does he just get rid of the devil?
And you know what else? God created you, Bill.
Yes.
So he says some reasonable things about religion there. The correct response to his claims from a religious person would be God moves in mysterious ways. We can't understand his reason for doing the things that he does. I studied all this when I was in community college. I took 7 philosophy courses, 7 semesters of philosophy, and philosophy of religion was my favorite. Yeah, I took a lot of philosophy, studied all this stuff. And all these questions you can ask and try to understand the rationale behind
the nerds that own the politician. All
Bill
these
Burr goes
tech
on to say
nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women.
They're going
to take over. The water flows one way in a relationship,
That sounds like you got that line from a therapist.
No, it does. No, it always just sort of goes towards the guy.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Like how we always have to
You have to
literally, what am I talking about? That it's like there's always something like, you're doing this, you got to work on that, blah, blah, blah. But that sort of, constructive criticism doesn't seem to come around the other way to the woman.
You should be my therapist.
This is why my wife...
So he said something, actually, that is very pertinent to being woke today. The woke are all about women. Women can do no wrong. And we see this repeatedly. The women are always apologizing. They always got the apologetics going for, oh, well, she cheated because she wasn't getting what she needed from home. Well, maybe a man cheated for the same reason, but it's not okay when a man does it. A man should just put up with whatever a woman gives him or lets him have or whatever. Well, no, men have needs too. Men have desires too. Men have wants. Men have emotions, believe it or not. So he actually does have these gems that he can throw out there. But then at the same time, he, says these things that are ultra woke too. So I don't know.
You also dive into, you point out that people aren't concerned enough about what you say men are going through these days. Are men
Oh, no, I wasn't saying that.
Are men okay?
No, I didn't say that. I was talking about what I was going through. I wasn't speaking for other guys.
Are you okay? I mean, what's going on?
I'm a comedian. No, I'm not.
All right, yeah. So he's not even concerned with what other men are going through. And you might say, well, that's how you are too, anti-woke warrior. You say on your channel that you made this channel because you're anti-woke, and woke is against straight white men, which you are, right? So yes, I am a straight white male, and the woke is all about getting rid of straight white men. But I am concerned with men's issues in general. I am concerned when I see men failing. I am concerned there are men out there who cannot get a date, and that's a whole can of worms. So I'm not going to get into that. That's there's so many different angles to attack that from that. I'm not going to open up that right now. But yeah, I am concerned about what I see is the state of humanity these days in general. And my limited travels around the world have shown me that this is a great country, but you're going to see a world of hurt come when the rest of the world rises up to this level where the United States is at, where the Western world is at. And I've been to Europe, and most places that I've seen there are not as nice as the United States, which is weird because you'd think that Europe, having had such a long history, would be on top of everything. But the United States is doing better in a lot of ways. So you got it on X on Twitter here. The Babylon Bee says Bill Burr cycles things up with the rest of the View's hosts. Very funny. We got his wife here again, and it says Bill Burr just went on The View and said that Elon Musk is a nerd who doesn't know how to talk to hot women.
The nerds that own the politician, all these tech nerds that want to build robots.
I think one
they
thing
don't know
that
how
Bill
to
Burr
talk
is
to hot
concerned
women.
about with his stand-up act, where he is saying, white people are bad. Well, he has 2 children with this woman, and they're half black. So they're going to be looked down upon by certain groups of people because of their racial heritage. So we got this image here comparing the women that Elon Musk goes out with so here's Bill Burr's wife again. Oof, that's rough. Let's see. And here's a woman that Elon Musk was involved with, apparently. Yeah, I know which one I want. Okay, there's some weird AI image. Look at Bill Burr's stuff here. Well, what do we got going on here? I'm starting to understand why Bill Burr hates Donald Trump and Elon Musk. I don't get this, but okay. There he is with his wife again. Yeah, this was when he did SNL. Bill Burr made you his bitch, yeah. Some men have wives so attractive, they'll do anything their wife says. I don't know what Bill Burr's excuse is. This is his wife, yeah. So it's rumored that Bill Burr is being coached, being demanded, being told, being extorted by his wife to say the things that he's saying. I saw somewhere, I don't remember where, somebody pulled up a post from an old friend of Bill's, and he's like, we're not friends anymore because his wife won't let me be friends with him, and she rules the roost. She tells him what to say, what to think, and all the things. This is a rough face, man. I could not wake up to that. I don't even like looking at it right now. Anyway, I just wanted to make that correction about Bill Burr and talk some more about how this guy he's a bad guy. He is. I mean, you're talking about choke slamming children, and you could say, oh, he's a comedian. That was a joke. It didn't sound like a joke in the video. Maybe you could find that video. I'm not going to share it here. Yeah, you talk about that stuff. You talk about how he thinks that white people are the worst in his stand-up. He's like, and it's like, dude, you're white. What are you talking about? You think that white people, that our ancestors were the only ones who were committing atrocities? No, everybody was doing that. And who's not doing it today compared to who is doing it today, right? White people recognize that, that's bad. Don't do that. And the rest of the world, the non-white world, seems to be left behind in that area in a lot of different ways. So anyway. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.